Assalamu alaikum. Today we are here at Birla Open Minds International School, Pampore, the most beautiful school in the valley, as you can see behind me. We are here to discuss a very important issue that is prevailing in our environment nowadays. And we have with us different students from different grades. Let you all introduce first yourself.
I'm Ibrahim Shadur Brat from grade 5 Zojila.
I'm Kaul Nissa from grade 6 Willow.
This is Fuzail Ahmed Kar from 5th P. Ronjal.
This is Ya Manzoor from grade 7 Jupiter.
I'm Hiba Riaz from grade 6 Chinar.
I'm Ahmad Shizam from grade 7 Maas.
I am Said Zamir, ELA teacher.
I'm Misha Musin from grade 4 Oak.
I'm Hamza Amalom from grade 4 Oak.
So you might have heard about the environment before that was green, cool and calm. But today the environment has changed. It is not that much green, cool and calm anymore. What can be the reason behind it? Today we are here to discuss the same thing, that is the environmental injustice that we as humans are doing towards the environment. As we feel that we humans are with war with it. What can be the reason behind the war that we have put forward towards the environment? So for today, the topic is environmental injustice. We will be talking about the significance of environmental injustice nowadays prevailing in our world. What are the reasons behind that? So first of all, I would like to ask Hiba, what do you think about the environmental injustice? Are humans doing a lot of injustice towards the environment?
Yes, ma'am, the environment has favored us in many ways, but I can't understand why we human beings are at war with our environment. Disposing of wastes, building factories, burning of fossil fuels, and buying a lots of cars instead of carpooling. Human beings smoke and buy a lots of plastic bags. In addition to it, there are several diseases that can spread due to the pollution. Like when you pollute the water, many mosquitoes arise and the mosquitoes can cause malaria. Mostly people cut down the trees, which reduces the amount of oxygen and increases the amount of carbon dioxide, which can cause pollution.
As Hiba used the term carpooling, Shizan, do you have some idea about this term? How does it affect our environment? Why is it important for the environment? Can you tell us more about it?
Yes, ma'am. Carpooling means sharing a car among people. It's environment friendly and a perfect way to use all the sitting place in a car. As we adapt carpooling, we emit less carbon gases into the atmosphere, which also prevents global warming. And it also reduces our travel costs such as toll costs, fuel costs, etc. The areas with higher residential densities are commonly adopt this carpooling.
This means it's a win-win situation from both the ends. First, we can save the environment, and second, we can reduce the costing. Now, I would like to know from Zia regarding the rise in temperature. Do you feel the days are hot nowadays?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. What is the reason behind the sudden rise in temperature?
Just like it's the month of April, but it seems the month of June, July, it's because of global warming, rise in temperature of the earth. Just like we human beings burn fossil fuels, etc., that release, we can say carbon dioxide in huge amount, and that's one of the greenhouse gas. Just like factories release harmful waste into rivers, that's harmful for the aquatic life as well as pollutes the water bodies. Just like excessive use of, we can say, fertilizers and manures that cause soil pollution. And we can say polluted soil is not, we can say, good for the proper growth of plants.
As rightly said by Zia, because of the human activities that we do around, the soil is becoming polluted, the environment in whole is becoming polluted. And I think the waste coming out of the factories, the chemicals that get accumulated in the water bodies, it just not only affects the aquatic life, but it also affects the creatures which are found on land. So I would like to ask Fuzail about the same. Does it affect only aquatic life, or you think that the creatures that are present on the land, they also get affected because of the pollution that we have around?
Ma'am, different creatures of our planet help our planet by many different ways. For example, bees. Bees are known as the most important insect in the world because they pollinate most of the world's crop. But all those creatures that are helping our planet in these ways are dying because we are killing them by cutting down forests polluting our environment, bringing invasive species to places where they do not belong to, and poaching.
You used the term poaching. That is the illegal killing of animals. What can be the reason behind the illegal killing of animals? Can anyone among you tell me? Just raise your hand. Yes, Ibrahim.
Poaching is illegal killing of animals for their body parts like horns, skin, teeth, etc.
As rightly said by Ibrahim, that poaching is a crime and it is the illegal killing of animals that has been done for different body parts, and people are indulging in such activities which is not good for the environment at all. Moving ahead, I would like to ask you people, do you think that you as children contribute to the environmental pollution and do injustice to the environment? Yes or no?
No, ma'am.
Don't you think so?
No, ma'am.
I'll tell you a small example regarding the environmental pollution that you contribute in. Do you use plastic pencil boxes?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you use your plastic tiffin boxes?
Yes, ma'am.
Water bottles? That means you are adding to the environmental pollution, right? Are you agreeing to the point that you are adding to the environmental pollution?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So I would like to know from Kamil or Nisa. So do you think, Kamil, we play a major role in polluting our environment using plastic and polythene?
Well, it's a substance that pollutes our Mother Earth. We think we don't use it, but we do. Well, what about our water bottles, lunch boxes, pencil cases that we use in our day-to-day life? And the desks on which we sit, they are all made up of plastic. You know, when our buses come to school, there is a U-turn and there is a huge dumping area of plastic. And that plastic causes harm to our environment. It takes 5,000 years to degrade one plastic bottle or one polythene bag. So it means that how much time will it take to degrade all the plastic on our earth? And marine wildlife such as seabirds, whales, turtles, fish mistake plastic for their prey. As a result, they die because their stomach is already filled with this harmful substance called plastic. I also want to add one more point that modern generation, we, our parents, usually use plastic for our daily uses. You know, we can't avoid it totally, but we should avoid it whenever we can.
Hamza, I hope you have heard all the problems that all the students discussed over here. There are so many issues that they have raised that we as humans are doing towards pollution of the environment and polluting it, right? But we heard the problem side. Where there is a problem, there is a solution as well. So what, according to you, must be the measures in order to save our environment by all these things that have been already discussed?
What we can do is that we can stop cutting trees so that it might increase oxygen, and then we can stop throwing garbage in the water to reduce the pollution of water and reduce the uses of plastic so that we might get more used to nature things, because plastic is the substance that is harming our Mother Earth.
As Hamza rightly said, that we should plant more and more trees. Recently, we were having Arbor Day at school and we celebrated it with great enthusiasm. So, Misha, I would like to know from you what we should do, what are the measures that we should take. Recently, you saw we celebrated Arbor Day in our school. So, what you did on that day? What are your viewpoints regarding the saving of planet and this environment as whole?
If you save a tree, you save a life. If you plant a tree, you plant a life. Trees give good looks. Save trees, save life.
Sir, being an educator in this school, you have certain responsibilities towards the children and the school in turn and to the environment as a whole. So what are your viewpoints and suggestions regarding saving this environment? As charity begins at home, we all know that. First we should do, then we should expect others to do it. So what are your viewpoints and the measures that you can take at the individual level and as an educator, because you are the one who is the role model for the children nowadays. So please share your experience and suggestions with us.
Thank you, ma'am, for such a wonderful question. That a lot of things have been said about the same problem, that environment and injustice, but like this Shizan said about carpooling and some students said about poaching and all the like water pollution. I can conclude this whole event in one word, that is the self-consciousness. That is very important. As we know that this self-consciousness, that is very important, self-consciousness, because we should be very conscious about the environment, because we do a lot of injustice towards our environment. what we are supposed to do, like as ma'am said, charity begins at home. For example, if I'm a human being, I'm a teacher here, I should do all the activities that should save our environment. Okay, we should, for example, there are some students, those who don't understand this big idea, or we can say any great idea about the environment, what are the issues, just we try to educate them how you can save the environment. That is the very important thing. The whole, we can say, idea behind this event was that, this talk show was that we should save our environment. We should take every step to preserve our flora and fauna.
So as Mr. Zamir said, we should take steps at the individual level and then expect others to do the same. We know we all use social media nowadays. By typing a single message on any social media app like WhatsApp, Instagram or any other app, we do use a lot of energy. We use a device and that device works on electricity, and in turn the electricity comes from burning of the fossil fuels. So that's called carbon footprint, which we should reduce at the earliest, because that is very dangerous and harmful for the environment nowadays. So we all came to the conclusion after this long discussion that we should save our environment as much as we can. We should not use plastic, we should not pollute our water bodies, and try to do justice to the environment instead of injustice. That was all for today. Thank you for watching. Allah Hafiz.